All right. Let's move to motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda with the revision of tabling the Little League contract and the tabling the Little League contract.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let's move down to guest speakers, communication, informational items. Kristen Hill.
So hi there, my name is Kristen Hill. I live at 1106 Linda Lane, if that's necessary. So I'm here to represent Lakeview Swim Team. This is my second year coaching with Nicole Muller and Alex Conley. So this summer, our swim team program has 72 participants this summer. And growing up in Lakeview, I spent many of my summers at the pool and swim team and eventually lifeguarding. I choose to coach because I recognize swimming as a lifelong skill that every child should have an opportunity to learn. It's my desire that my kids and the children in the community will have life-saving skills to prevent water accidents and drowning. Swimming also offers a great form of exercise as well as supervised option for play for our kids in the summer. A pool is a very valuable resource, and I would like to champion for the space to be utilized to meet the needs of our community. Pool temperatures were a concern last year that was corrected and addressed. We lost a lot of kids on swim team due to the temperature. Our home week didn't meet regulation due to low temperatures, and the experience of swimming wasn't enjoyable for a lot of kids, which was a bummer. So we're so thrilled that you've mobilized resources to use the heat exchange unit. Thank you so much. It's been reported that Rotary has helped fund an insulated cover, and for that we're very appreciative. The first day of swim team this year was great, and the temperature was appropriate for our kids. We didn't have any hypothermia. It was awesome. So we look forward to swimming to a covered pool in our future. I hope to start swimming again because it was too cold for me last year. So the renovation and investments made in our pool are wonderful, but I bring two concerns I'd like to share. The first is the lack of communication with the town. This is a cause of great frustration. We would like to have had an opportunity to discuss pool times with the town staff before the schedule was published. It would have been great to sit down with pool users and discuss needs and work together to create a schedule to accommodate all the various organizations. We have been practicing in the evening for at least 30 years, to my knowledge, and it was devastating when we found out that Roberta had removed our evening time without any communication. After 2 days of phone messages and being unable to meet with anyone in person, we were able to secure the 6 to 7 p.m. evening time slot. This is certainly not ideal for our young swimmers with an early bedtime, but we recognize that evening pool time is a limited resource. I was disheartened to find out that evening lap swim was canceled to allow for us to be there. I feel like we can do better and be more creative in scheduling. And my second and final concern is the accountability and oversight for our lifeguards and pool manager. As a coach, I spend many hours a week at the pool alongside those folks. While I have great respect for the kids that choose to be lifeguards, and the guards last year were overall very helpful, kind, and positive in our interactions, but as I spend more time at the pool, I've recognized there's a lack of oversight and accountability with your lifeguards. These lifeguards have little incentive or tools to build a swim lesson program, to keep the pool clean, the deck clean, and the office professional appearance. There is an overall lack of safety awareness, professionalism, and pride in our pool. So I'd like to propose that the town council, town staff, town manager designate an experienced adult to oversee the staff. And our young pool manager and lifeguards need accountability and improved oversight. And second, it would be beneficial to form a committee or a coalition to provide communication and oversight for the pool. It would be great to have a scheduled time to discuss concerns and problem solve together. I'm happy to work alongside you to be part of the solution representing the swim team. Safety is paramount, and I hope you strive to create a safe, professional, and positive environment for our pool. So I wrote this down. I brought copies if you guys would like.
I would appreciate that. We'll give it to Dawn. Oh.
Yeah.
And everything.
All right, let's move on down to 911. Scott Elliott's not here. Okay. Fire, Dennis? I hear you had a fire.
They had a fire.
Been having lots of those here lately.
This one turned out all right, though. I mean, it wasn't quite a fire. It could have been a lot worse. It would have been later in the evening, but, you know, it kind of gave me something that maybe the council ought to think about on some of these food carts, as far as having a kitchen that's got a suppression system in it. Means how they're right next to, usually next to other buildings and stuff like that. You know, we was pretty lucky that this never caught on fire. It was just a smoke, but it's something, somewhere down the road, maybe we ought to think about some sort of an ordinance for, you know, some of the mobile food handlers. The only other thing I have is I heard back from ISO, the guy that came down and did our rating. I haven't got the packet yet, but we went down a grade in town from a 5 to a 4. And we also went down out in the district, but I don't know exactly what yet. But it's good news that we actually made a grade down. I don't know what that's gonna translate in savings on insurance, but it should help a little bit.
On our food cart, do we not, do they have fire extinguishers required by
Well, they
laws?
all of them have fire extinguishers in there. I'm talking about like an automatic system. If they're not there, then it would pop off.
Yeah.
That's something that should be put in.
Well, I mean, it's something that, yeah, I mean, but it's gonna take a local ordinance or something to do that. You know, just like a regular,
Concerning those?
what's that?
Is there any state law that you're aware of, or have you
On
researched
food
that?
carts, I'd have to do some research on it, but I don't believe there is. I mean, there's food carts all over the place. And, you know, putting a small system in there, the initial cost would be expensive, but it'd be a lot better than catching it on fire and
Or
the
catching
adjacent
something else
building
on
too.
fire at the same time.
I mean, both of these food carts that we have in town are parked right next to another
That's what I'm
facility.
saying.
So,
Yeah.
I'll do some more research, but I think it's something that we'll have to take up here to make sure that
The city can put in an ordinance to regulate that a little better.
yeah.
Okay. Public Works, Jeff.
I don't really have anything to add to my report. It came in kind of late today. I apologize for that. We've been pretty busy with quite a few things. I just wanted to draw your attention to that letter from the Oregon Health Authority in the back of my report. Nicole from Anderson Engineering and myself turned in an application, a letter of interest for a grant to do some source water protection projects. And it looks like they're going to be interested in funding our grant. So it's a 2-year process. We get $30,000 each year, so we get $60,000 to do some source water protection projects, which will help. And it's not a matching fund, it's completely funded by Oregon Health Authority, so nice.
That's cool.
The parks, you guys, I'm not sure if you're aware, only because that's where we live in the summer, it feels like, but the McDonald Park needs a lot more bark dust.
Okay,
It doesn't meet the requirements, it's pretty much gone.
okay.
I just have to be down there, but
Yeah.
you guys have somebody hired?
We did hire a park maintenance person, but that would be outside of his job. He just mows and weed eats and
Okay, that's
cleans
what
the
I was wondering.
bathroom, so that'll be my guy.
Okay,
We'll get something in.
okay.
The bark dust we've been using just comes from the mill because of our location. I guess people feel it's adequate. I don't know that it really meets the state requirement. It's not actually bark dust, it's It's more like
chips, yeah.
chips,
I think it was like a 6-inch requirement or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just worn away, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice. They're down in dirt really bad right now.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll get some put in there.
Kristen,
Yes.
this is the man you want to thank about getting your water warm.
Oh, yeah. He's been up there checking it out, yeah.
You've been up there swinging road.
I'll give you a big head,
Yeah.
yeah. Engineer Darrell.
The Cadamus project for Red Rock is about 85% complete. They have some work left to do on the meters, the water service to Red Rock, that sort of thing. That's been going. We've still been working with Red Rock on the cooling water for their process system, also their power generation. We sampled the lagoons the other day. We sent that to them. Sounds like they're going to be able to use that. I hope that works out, because that's an easy thing for us to do, and it doesn't cause us whole problems. They were projecting 350 gallons a minute of wastewater into our sewage system down on Cadamus. That was a little bit of a problem for us. So hopefully we can take the wastewater out of the storage lagoon. They can use it for cooling. They will lose some, and then send it back to the storage lagoon. So it'll have little impact on us. And it should be a good process for them. Also got a call from the assessor today. Evidently some property is being sold on Geyserview Lane. I believe where those storage units are. I'm not sure if that's a piece or not. But originally some of that connected with that little island piece between the old Dusenberry Logging Road and that's Rabbit Hill Road now, it goes to the prison. They had it that was still owned by that parcel. We have a pump station on there, it's prison. So back when we built that to serve the prison, we got a suit to quiet title on that little piece of property. Obviously the town wouldn't build anything like that without having property in place. I don't know why that doesn't show up in the records. I called Jeff's office. They did send me the court case. John Bogardus, of course, did the legal work. So at least we have that. We can
So they cleaned up.
What we probably should do is re-record the judgment suit quieting title. And that way, sometimes they don't always pick those up because it's not a document that the assessor's office normally looks for. And see if that clears it up. So that would be my suggestion, get a certified copy of it and record it with the clerk's office just to make sure, the county clerk's office, to make sure that that's properly showing up.
Sounds like something you guys will finish.
Absolutely. Probably already has been done, and I'm just thinking it hasn't been, for some reason they can pick up the assessor's office.
Well, thanks for working with the assessor's office to get that cleared up. Since they
Well, it's
are
been a
trying to
while
sell
ago.
that.
Should have been.
Yeah, I know it was a while ago, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
after this meeting to finish it up. We can have it done.
Yep.
Anyway, that was a little different.
Okay. Town manager is not here. Under old business, we'll table the Little League contract. Under new business, we received a letter from the Bach family wanting to donate the Don's Market property to the town of Lakeview in lieu of existing taxes. And what we're looking into now is see what it's gonna cost to remove the tanks, and I'd like to make a welcoming park out of that. Put a bathroom, picnic tables, have it all fenced in, put a big welcome sign right there. Kind of beautify that area up. Other than that, I don't know what else you'd do with it.
Well, why don't we put that down the road till we find out if that will affect the Brownsville project
So, yeah,
qualifications.
so that's all we've got on that.
We did have a project a few years ago. The Rotary Club was going to take that on with the welcome sign there and whatnot. The town made an offer on the property at that time, and they didn't accept it. I did get some estimates at that time to remove the tanks. I'm not real sure we have to remove, need to look at that a little bit more. But it would be a nice thing to do. Probably could get some more public interest back into doing that.
The important part is to get a no further action DEQ letter, which is what was ended up being done with the MC Chuck Wagon property to make sure we don't get stuck.
Right.
Those underground storage tanks are like a bad game of hot potato. You don't want to be the one holding the hot potato, you want to get it to that. And with that NFA letter, then that takes care of
So who files that?
the
The town manager? No.
whoever
further action?
you do whatever remediate, you check with them, figure out whatever remediation they require. Your contractor, whoever cleans it up, then files with them, gets, they talk to DEQ first, see what they're gonna require. Then DEQ sends you, after you've done the work and they've done their testing, good enough. And whether that's filling the thing full of sand, filling it full of concrete, pulling it out, whatever they're going to require. But a lot of times they would have to do some testing to see if there's anything that's spread out. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns at this point.
So we're probably a few months out, and in the meantime, we need to find out how much they actually owe in back taxes, is what the agreement is, so.
And
This
how
is
much,
down the road, so we don't really need to talk about,
Yeah.
but
Correct.
we need to make sure someone's still on top of this to keep it moving.
This is why I've been dealing with Ginger.
Yeah, I know, and I talked to Ginger earlier today too about it.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to do soil
But
samples.
we just need to know how much we're even talking about, or we just know, the family lets it go back to foreclosure and the county potentially gets it, and then the county can work with you.
Well, it was eligible, it was on that brownfield list.
Yeah, I remember.
I encourage you to keep it, I don't know why, but we're gonna have to have, a lot of the brownfields things are just a phase one audit. A phase one audit is not gonna do it there. We're gonna have a phase two audit, at least. I really don't see that there'll be a
Okay.
huge problem there, but.
We just don't want
So we'll look into,
transfer
we'll just keep
title.
looking into that until, and I'll check with Ginger and see what she's come up with, because she was gonna look into all that other stuff, and with DEQ also. Mayor, council, manager updates, the only thing I have is Sheriff Taylor, I owe you an apology, because I did not make it to the swearing in of your officers. Because
didn't make it.
Monday I ended up at the hospital, and the rest of the week I was down on my back.
That's no excuse, Mayor.
But I'll tell you, I've heard them on the radio, and they've all been swamped. Still,
They're doing a good job.
yes, appreciate that. Do you have any comments you'd like to make?
Just a quick update is, as you all know, we've hired 3 exceptional deputies. We have one that's already gone through the academy, and he's out on his own now. The other 2 are slated to go to the academy on August 11th. We pretty much have all their gear purchased and issued to them with the exception of their protective vests. We just had their ARs come in. We're not going to give them to the 2 deputies that are going to the academy until they get out of the academy, because they're riding with a training officer right now and there's no need for them. We have purchased 2 town vehicles from Hall's Motors, and we just put bids out Monday for the upfitting, and we should hear something back on the 17th on that as to who will get awarded the contract to do that. And then as soon as we get that, we'll have those expenditures paid out of this budget, and those vehicles will be sent up to wherever they're going, and it takes usually 3 weeks to a month to get them back and on the road. But other than that, everything's going great.
On these vehicles, are they white? Or are they gray, silver?
That's very hurtful.
They're what?
That's very hurtful, Mayor.
I would say not have white if
Just
possible.
open an old wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would-
They're kind of a silvery charcoal. So no, they're not white. They're going to be different colors, and then the third vehicle, when that comes through, that'll be a different color yet. But the 2 that we just purchased are kind of a dark silver, almost charcoal looking,
Thank you.
yes.
I was hoping for a different color.
Thank you.
Okay, council, you have anything?
I did attend the swearing in, which was very nice. Nice ceremony.
Well, thank you.
I thank the council for those who did.
I have a little bit of updates, Ray.
Yes,
So the town parking lot is being used by the Saturday Market organization, and Buddy Ness's crew is painting those. I
I
believe.
went by there today.
Well, so they didn't get the word that we had it all set up for them. So we were glad to hear, because the paint they got wasn't quite the right color, right brand or something. I don't know what
I
it
don't know,
was,
it's
so.
dark red, it's
We're
bright red.
gonna, yeah, it's pretty bright. We're gonna put the correct color over that, which should help the longevity of those tables better, and not at their expense. And then Buddy's crew is cleaning that up next week.
Okay,
So that also is the same place that the Produce Connection is using.
yes.
And they're gonna move some boxes around because they're kind of in the way. But they want to really get that word out that that's their location. There's a little bit of traffic jams, but that the public knows that's where that Produce Connection is for free produce on Fridays at 11:30. So, and then also today, the LCP meeting, I say LCP, but really it's a community collaborative organization, is at 6 that Ray and I attended. So if you guys are interested in attending that, it should be good. There was quite a collaborative agreement about what the issues are, what kind of moving forward for downtown. And I think that's it.
Okay. Jeff, has Buddy talked with you about, see if you had any paint or anything down
No,
there?
I told him we would buy the paint for the project. I'd like to change the color of those tables. My guys looked at them, we're talking about green or something, anything other than that barn.
It wouldn't be
red.
bad either.
Barn red?
I love the barn red.
All right, let's vote on it.
All right.
Okay.
Why don't you just do a
Okay,
little bit of both?
let's move on down. We got a public comment period. So, before we do that, yeah, I have a letter here. Please use this letter as my intent to join the budget committee for this year of the town of Lakeview, Dan Henderson. So we do have another one on the budget committee now.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Do we need to formally accept
Victim
that?
number 7.
What's that?
I think a motion, and I think a motion would be
So I have a
appropriate.
motion,
I'll make a motion to accept Dan Henderson on the budget committee.
second,
Second.
motion made and second, those in favor?
Aye.
You have no problem? I love it real rude. Okay, we're going into public comment, you got public comments.
Go for it.
Lori?
Lori, that's your turn.
Lori Crawford, 316 Mountain View Drive. And maybe this is already in the works, but I live right there on the corner, as you know, and I'm hot on these street signs being put up. We had 3 incidences this last week that people just come to the door and knock, you know, they're hunting Mountain View or they're hunting something else, and we need, what is the status of getting these street signs back up?
Your street signs are already back up.
Today?
No, they were up last week.
Mine wasn't.
The one,
It wasn't this morning.
the 1/3 Mountain View is up. And the one at Linda Lane and Mountain View is up. The one at South 6th and Mountain View is up. The one at Western Place and.
Well, that's good.
They've been up for,
Okay, there's one needed on 2nd Street and L.
yeah, we have all the signs, but we started with your street.
Well, you know what, I've been gone for 2 days, and when I came last night, it wasn't there, and so.
Yeah,
maybe
it was there
they
last
put it up
night. You may not have noticed it, but it was there last night.
Okay, well, thank you very much,
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Because, you know, people are moving in, and we had graduation and everything, and that's really great, and that's gonna be helpful, it is. I also had a concern about what is the criteria for use of the motel tax funds? I've never read that in the paper or anything. Is there a criteria that has been set up, and is it in writing so that people would know how to go about making a request?
There is applications, am I correct?
There are applications, I believe, the majority of it has to be used for tourism purposes.
70%.
Yeah, 70% is kind of dedicated funding for that, and it's a little tough unless you're doing direct tourism promotion, like pamphlets, things of that nature, specific campaigns. It's rather frustrating that it's so restricted because there's a lot of things that would be close to that, but they don't find it. So that would be one thing to talk to your legislator about, loosening that up a little bit so that you can use it for more facilities that aren't just 100% tourism related, because it kind of handcuffs us a little bit to what they're
So
using
Lori,
for.
Well, I realize that 70% has to go
Mhm.
for tourism, but one of my concerns is that, and I guess I really back Kristen on the pool and everything, because for all those years we were swim team parents and everything, but I just wonder if there could be any of this tourism money, any of this hotel tax money used, because we do have people coming in that use the pool. We have a lot of people that come in that like the tennis courts that are there, those need to be dug up and redone and everything. And I don't know why we couldn't use some of the money for that. The third thing, I think, is the sidewalks need to be replaced. And this is all tourism. And I know you mentioned, and I didn't know this about the Bach property exactly, but if that were a greeting center, then there could be restrooms there, like in Paisley and the Perch and Bly and everything like that. We need to have a community restroom. And this all has to do with tourism or whatever. I think you can do that. We have the swim teams that come in for the Lions Invitational and everything, and they do camp on that land up there and everything. But the tennis courts down by my house are used so much and everything.
Right.
But we used to only have the ones up here, and they're not usable. But this is something that people, when they're staying in Lakeview, they would come and play tennis at night. They would play tennis early in the morning. But that is unsightly, and if that could be used as part of that money from this, I think that would be a great thing to do.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of the council, but for myself, I have done a lot of research on this, and those funds can be used outside of pamphlets. I mean,
Correct,
and I'm gonna keep fighting for what other communities are using the same money for. I mean, we have communities elsewhere using them for a pool shade. We have them using the 70%. And so the pool is a big priority here. We've talked about the tennis courts possibly being revamped because they're just not utilized, and to put something there that gets utilized a little bit more.
The tennis courts would be utilized if they were usable.
Yeah, I think lighting was an issue as well.
Well, then we put up lighting.
We've thought about that,
But the sidewalks are hazardous.
and that's something we've also discussed.
And I think, so those are just my
Yeah,
ideas.
no,
For
they're
whatever
great
they're worth.
ideas.
I didn't think there was a committee anymore, and maybe there should be. I don't think that the town council can be the committee for everything, so maybe there needs to be a motel tax committee or something. I don't know, but we know that 70% has to be used, but there's a lot that goes on in this town that maybe you are not a part of, but maybe other people are. And I know that people in the motels, besides walking and everything, they bring their bicycles. We want them to do that. We want them to play tennis. We want them to swim and everything. So anything we could do to enhance that area, I think would be very beneficial. So thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Nothing else there? Items on
We have an item on the,
on the executive session, that will be tabled till a special meeting. So, other than that, then.
we have a budget meeting. that's
Nothing else, we
satisfying.
will adjourn regular session, take a little break and go into budget meeting.